These are large markets. There's a large unmet medical need for surgical adhesions. In the US alone, we have over 20 million surgeries every year that would benefit from our products, total addressable markets of over $6 billion. We've put together a really compelling data package. We've treated 4 surgical orthopedic patients under compassionate use with really favorable results. We undertook a large clinical safety study with 76 healthy volunteers, and we've proven out the safety of our liquid medical devices. In addition, in head-to-head comparisons in a well-established preclinical animal model of adhesions, we've shown there was superior efficacy compared with 3 of the currently top marketed products. In addition, we have 7 separate patent families which provide exclusivity until 2039 and beyond. And so today, the most common complication after any surgery are these internal surgical adhesions, and these are abnormal fibrous growths that form inside the body after these surgeries. Following a knee or a shoulder surgery, many of these patients end up with a stiff knee or frozen shoulder. They can't walk downstairs without assistance or even necessarily get their arm up to change their shirt by themselves. It's even more serious after gynecological surgery. Many of these women become infertile due to surgical adhesions. Anybody undergoing an abdominal surgery is at risk for small bowel obstruction due to the adhesions. And this results in an emergency expensive surgery to then go in and cut these adhesions apart. And so we have the only product which is a liquid. At the end of the surgery, it's easily and rapidly applied into the surgical site. That liquid flows throughout the entire surgical area. It sets up as a temporary physical barrier film that coats all the tissues and organs, and this prevents the formation of the surgical adhesions throughout that entire surgical area. We're the only company with a product like this. And so for our lead medical devices, we have 10 mils of gel coat applied into the joint at the end of an orthopedic surgery, and we have 2 milliliters per kilogram body weight for our IP coat at the end of a gynecological or abdominal surgery. We're focused on 3 large markets, the US, Japan, and Europe. And so within 4 to 5 years of launch and ramp up within these territories, we see the go-to markets as treating over 2.5 million surgeries annually for sales of over $1.5 billion. Our products confer a number of competitive advantages, including within this abdominal and gynecological landscape. So we've shown, again, in this preclinical model, head-to-head comparisons, we have superior efficacy compared with film, gel, and the one non-barrier forming liquid product that's on the market. In addition, as a liquid that flows just like water, our product is really fast and easy to use. In the US, we're going after surgical adhesions within the orthopedic space. First, this is the largest and fastest way to a major market approval in the US. In the US, we have over 2 million knee and shoulder surgeries every year, and with no direct competitors. The indirect competitors, if you will, are really twofold. One is there's painful daily physiotherapy where patients have to flex their knee or their shoulder to continuously break apart these adhesions. And the second is to have a re-operation or a procedure to break apart or to lyse these adhesions. And of course, this is expensive for the healthcare system. In addition to the 7 separate patent families that we have, and these seven separate patent families, they provide exclusivity until 2039 and beyond. In the US, under the Hatch-Waxman Act, we expect that last patent to expire in approximately 2041. We also have complexity and trade secrets around how we chemically modify and ultra-purify the polysaccharide that is the key component for a liquid medical device. We also have complexity and trade secrets around the physical-chemical structure of our polysaccharide. We're currently running a systematic process. We're in discussions with several very large Japanese medical device companies and similarly several very large European medical device companies to partner in those territories. ARC will be providing exclusivity for our partners within those territories. In exchange, our partners will be paying full freight to run the clinical trials in their territories and be paying ARC upfront and milestone payments on their development and then royalties on their sales. We expect to complete a deal in Japan and separately a deal in Europe prior to the end of 2024. And so in the Japanese partnership, our partner will run an abdominal efficacy surgical patient clinical trial. In Europe, our partner will run a gynecological efficacy surgical patient clinical trial. In both of these territories, we will obtain approval for gynecological and abdominal open laparotomy and laparoscopy surgeries. These clinical trials then count as pilot clinical trials for the development in the US. ARC will be using the proceeds from our current financing or the upfront payments from the partners to pay for an orthopedic proof of concept efficacy clinical trial. And so this space, preventing surgical complications, it's been active with M&As, including several recent multi-billion-dollar transactions. Our experienced leadership team has done this before. Alison Crow on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, our VP Clinical, she's been instrumental in designing and then leading the clinical trials that resulted in approvals for 3 surgical adhesion prevention products. Dr. Robert Litchfield, our Chief Medical Officer, he leads a team of 17 surgeon key opinion leaders. They all have recent, relevant clinical trial experience. We raised $18 million to date in equity. Remarkably, we've matched this dollar for dollar with non-dilutive funds from both revenues and grants. So use of proceeds from our current $50 million financing, it's to undertake the proof of concept efficacy clinical trial in orthopedic. Data readout is in 1 year. Complete the European partnership. Data readout from that is 2 years, launches in 3 years, and it's to complete the Japanese partnership. So data readout is in 3 years with launch in approximately 4 years in Japan. So in summary, here are the key takeaways. We have a large unmet medical need and markets through the prevention of surgical adhesions. We have compelling efficacy and safety data. So we have the 4 orthopedic surgical patients already treated with favorable outcomes, very large safety trial, 76 healthy volunteers proving out the safety of our medical devices, and superior efficacy in a preclinical model against 3 of the currently top marketed products. We have 7 separate patent families providing exclusivity until 2039 in the US, likely 2041, as well as complexity in trade secrets. These products will never be easy to copy. And our professional leadership and clinical teams have done this before. We have 3 key near-term value-driving milestones. One is undertake the orthopedic proof of concept efficacy clinical trial, data readout in 1 year, complete the partnerships in Japan and Europe, receive those upfront payments, and then initiate the gynecological and abdominal efficacy surgical patient clinical trials in our partners' territories.